In this episode, we're looking at investigating irreversible changes. Hi, boys and girls, at the end of this lesson, you'll be able to define and give 3 examples of irreversible changes, carry out fear tests to demonstrate irreversible change, and complete at least 4 of the activities at the 8 learning centers. While conducting the fear tests in the previous lesson, that's the one on reversible changes, we saw where temporary changes were reversed or undone. You remember, like tying the shoelace and untying the shoelace, like freezing water and then melting water. However, some fear tests will prove that materials can also undergo permanent changes which cannot be reversed or undone. In some irreversible changes, new materials and substances that are completely different from the original materials are formed. In fact, there are evidences of irreversible changes in temperature, as in the burning of coal, color, as in the rusting of screws, odor, as in spoilt meat, and the formation of bubbles, as in the mixing of vinegar with baking soda. Examples of irreversible changes include heating, mixing, cooking, roasting, baking, and frying. So if I fry an egg, I can never get that egg back to the state it was in before. If I bake a cake, I can't just go in and take out back the flour and get the flour back in the state it was before. Okay, so and cooking involves heating and so on. So some of those things will result in new materials being formed. In the presence of an adult, conduct a fear test to find out if an irreversible change forms new materials and can be reversed to its original state. Materials: white vinegar, warm cow's milk, tablespoon, measuring cup, and a container. Complete the hypothesis, this is the educated guess, by selecting the answer from each bracket to write on the spaces provided. Hypothesis: if white vinegar and warm milk are mixed in a container, the milk will or will not form curds or lumps that can or cannot be reversed to its original state. Interesting. I would love one of you to try this and post so that we can see what happens. Okay? And then you give us your statement before and then after. Here is the method. Pour 250 milliliters of warm milk in a container. Pour 1 tablespoon of white vinegar into the container of warm milk. Use the tablespoon and stir the white vinegar and the warm milk mixture. Observe the reaction of the white vinegar and warm milk. Did the milk curdle? That means to form lumps. Did the milk curdle in the mixture? Strain the mixture to separate the solids, that's the curds, from the liquid, the whey. Can you get the new product to reverse to the milk in its original state? So can you get the new product to reverse to the milk in the original state? Will that happen? So there's a little nursery rhyme that goes with this. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. There came down a big spider who sat down beside her and frightened Miss Muffet away. Okay, so the curds, the solid part, and the whey, the liquid part. And curds are then later on used to make cheese, for example, and whey is used with making bread and other such products. Okay? Explain. Complete the statements by writing on the lines provided an inference and a conclusion from the fear test conducted with the white vinegar and warm milk. Making an inference. The mixture of white vinegar, the mixture of vinegar and warm cow's milk is an irreversible change because a new substance, curds, is formed and cannot be reversed. Drawing conclusions here, irreversible changes cannot be undone or cannot be reversed. Then, collect a rusty metal and observe it. Is this rust a new substance? Can this rust be changed back to iron? Use online resources to find the answer. Explore. Access the internet, download and view videos on irreversible changes. Evaluate. Complete at least 4 of the 8 activities at the 8 learning centers. Word link from the Faye Ellington Center. Make a bookmarker. On each include a definition and example of irreversible change. Self-link from the Dr. Agri Irons Center. Make a journal entry expressing your views on the fear test conducted with warm milk and white vinegar. Music link from the Jimmy Cliff Center. Write song lyrics for irreversible change. Picture link from the Edna Manley Center. Download photos of irreversible changes, then create a carousel of these images. Body link from the Rex Nettleford Center. Conduct a fear test with an adult to find out if burnt paper will reverse to its original state. Now remember, with an adult. Why? When we're looking at burnt paper, it means that we're going to have fire. Okay? And fire is something that can easily get out of control. We must also have on hand, an extinguisher of some sort to put out the fire. And let's be careful where we put things that are burning, because children have the tendency to take, say, burning paper or paper that is still smoking and drop it in the garbage bin. And it stays there and then it develops into a bigger fire. Okay? So be very careful. Only attempt this in the presence of an adult. Social link. Mary C. Cole Center. Use a digital device and take photos of the fear tests done. Share the images in your class WhatsApp group. Finally, Nature Link from the Dan Macaulay Center. Irreversible changes occur in nature. An example is the ripening fruits such as mangoes. When this happens, the ripe fruit cannot reverse to a green fruit. List at least 3 more irreversible changes that occur in nature. In this episode, we were looking at irreversible changes. So now that we have finished our lesson, you should be able to define and give at least 3 examples of irreversible changes. You should be able to tell what fear tests can be done to demonstrate irreversible changes, and you should be able to complete at least 1 of these 8 activities at the Learning Center and post here. Take care. We'll see you in our next episode.